YouTube, what the crap's going on? Welcome back to Total War Shogun 2, where we're going to be getting to watch Killerfisch take on Oleg. Killerfisch was always one of my favorite Shogun 2 players to watch, and he played other Total War games, of course, but he was particularly talented at Shogun 2, it seemed like. Had some very nice battles that I got to see of his on other people's channel, or just... he actually put up some battles of his own for a while, too, on YouTube, and they were pretty enjoyable to see him play because he definitely had a knack for the game. So I'm interested to see. He's playing up against Oleg over there in the blue, and Killerfisch is kind of in this orangish color over here. Let's check out his army. A couple of Yariki on this flank. A couple more Yariki on the other flank. His general is a full gun gen, 155 range. So let's see. He's got Red Bear, a Vermilion Bird Force supporting the morale of Red Bear in the center, and then he's got a United States Marine on his left, protected by a Spear Levy, and he's got one more Spear Levy on his right, so no Revolver Cav. Let's see what we got on the other side. Saber Cav, Revolver Cav. Got another, so three, is that 4 Saber Cavalry out here? It is, that is 4 Saber Cavalry supported by a Revolver Cav. That's interesting. And then in terms of infantry, we got Red Bear, Shogunate Guard. We have a U.S. Marine named USSR on fire. General's Bodyguard, which is also a gun gen. Azure Dragon Force, Red Bear, Azure Dragons, Royal Marine. Interesting. So, looks like Killerfisch is busy capturing a workshop, which gives him an armor and defense boost. The shrine is contested at the moment. He's going to use a Spear Levy to help contest it. That Spear Levy probably ought to back up to try and block some line of sight here a little bit, because it's about to get Rizeked by the Shogunate Guard infantry. But yeah, definitely. So Killerfisch is going to pick up the workshop, and the shrine is trying to be contested by Killerfisch. It's going to be difficult here, but he does have this U.S. Marine in the woods, which will do very well against the Red Bear infantry here. As long as that Spear Levy, I was kind of hoping to see it keep contesting the shrine, but maybe he feels like it's needed elsewhere. So he might potentially give up the shrine here. It's being captured by Oleg, and that would definitely be something he's not going to want to lose. So yeah, it looks like Killerfisch kind of pulling back on this flank. I mean, he does have his Marines here in the woods. It's a pretty decent position. But slowly, this all this Saber Cav is working. Oh, look at this. Yuga Katai popping up for Killerfisch. I think he was probably hoping. I think they can fire from while, or is it just Tosa Riflemen that can fire while hidden? I can't remember. Can hide in woodland. Remains hidden whilst walking. Interesting. So we'll see what all those Yuga Katai can do, but from the woods that could potentially be dangerous. Oh, a Yariki here getting just hammered. So that's a bad stroke of luck there for Killerfisch. He's going to need all those Yariki. He's transferring his Yariki all to his right flank to counter the Saber Cavalry. So far still not going to be able to get shots from the Yuga Katai onto the U.S. Marine because it is hidden in the wood. This U.S. Marine, though, is getting some shots here, and it's hitting Oleg's general. But it's being pushed back by an Azure Dragon and a Royal Marine. Okay, Yariki attempting to pin down the Saber Cav over here. Saber Cavalry is slower. I don't know why he kind of balked at that. Oh, there's a Revolver Cav. It wasn't 2 Saber Cav. I know exactly why he was pulling away from that at the moment. That Revolver Cav, if it's used properly, can protect the Saber Cavalry pretty well and lure the Yari Cav into their doom, which very well may be happening right here. We'll see. So Killerfisch takes this engagement over. He's got a Spear Levy nearby. The Revolver Cavalry for the moment is tied up, and Killerfisch is getting a decent engagement. Yeah, this is a pretty good engagement for Killerfisch over here right now. Let's see what else is going to happen. Killerfisch still falling back in the center. He controls the workshop, so he doesn't have to worry about time. But the shrine is in control of Oleg. And that is definitely not a boost you want your opponent to have, which is extra morale. Because sometimes just a little bit of morale can make the difference between win or lose. All these cavalry and that Spear Levy are going to want to get out of here. So that ended up being a pretty nice engagement for Killerfisch there. Ooh, poor spear levy. There's not much that can be done there. They just ate one from that Shogunate Guard infantry. Yuga are also falling back, which is smart. They can't stand toe-to-toe with these line infantry units. So right now, a lot of push from Oleg. Killerfisch better watch it with his general. He's almost in range of this Azure Dragon. Oh, Killerfisch. This could be a fatal flaw right here. Yep, his general's going to get absolutely hammered by the Azure Dragon. He's going to pull back, but that could be bad. There was a Yariki there that ate some of those shots too. Let's see what happens. So Killerfisch still kind of falling back everywhere because it looks like he's worried about being overwhelmed by infantry. And with the shrine in play, that very well could be. This Royal Marine, though, eating it right now from multiple units, so that's a good engagement for Killerfisch. But out here, he's in a little bit of trouble, and here comes a Saber Cavalry. And the only thing he's got to protect over there is a Spear Levy. All of his Yariki are committed elsewhere. So that Yariki's gone. This Yariki's going to get torn apart. So, I don't know. We'll see how this is looking. The Royal Marine does go down here in the center, but there's a U.S. Marine still there. And that's going to be hard for a Vermilion Bird Force to overcome. Still a U.S. Marine for Killerfisch, though. He's really kiting back a lot. The Yuga Katai is going to get caught by the Saber Cavalry at this point. Really unfortunate for Killerfisch over here. The Spear Levy just not fast enough to get around to the cavalry, and that Saber Cavalry is going to quickly mop up the Yuga Katai. So these guys not even really able to do a whole lot in the battle before they rout, and I think that the loss of the shrine there is going to play havoc on the morale of the units for Killerfisch. You can see he's just kiting away at this point, and he's in pretty rough shape. Yeah, he's getting pushed back, and I don't really see how this turns around for him. That U.S. Marine getting hit in the back as it retreats, but if he doesn't retreat, I think he's worried about getting double-teamed. And the U.S. Marine here, yes, I mean, this is pretty much over for Killerfisch. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. When you get through the end of this battle, just kind of let you all see some of this. But yeah, you can see he's forced back. So it looked pretty favorable for him at first in terms of the engagement, but just all this infantry here for Oleg. It's going to make the push, and it's going to be more than Killerfisch can stop here. So it looks like he admits defeat, and I will see you all in the next replay. All right, here we are for Game 2 between Killerfisch and Oleg. It is 0-1 for Killerfisch. He lost to Oleg in the first game, and we're going to see whether or not he can turn it around here in the second game on Heated Mountains. This is an interesting map. It's relatively flat in the center, but you got a lot of woods on the side to use. Line of sight is fairly clear through the center of the map. There are a few bumps and knobs here and there, but mostly clear line of sight in the center of the map. And we have the key buildings here in the center. We got the farmhouse and the sword dojo. Let's take a look at the build of Killerfisch. So we're going to have, looks like, a Saber Cav and 2 Yariki out here. Yarikachi, Infantry de Marine. The general has been switched to a Bushido general? Yeah, it's a Bushido general. Saber Cavalry. Shogatai, 2 Spear Levy, so a melee build from Killerfisch at this point. And let's see, for Oleg, across the way, looks pretty similar so far. Sabers, Revolver, White Bears, U.S. Marine. It's the same U.S. Marine. It's actually damaged from the last fight. He's just brought it because it probably fits his fun level. Infantry de Marine this time instead of the Royal Marine, which was destroyed in the last one. More Saber Cav. So a very similar build for Oleg this time. A Shogunate Guard infantry as well. Very infantry heavy. And honestly, it's going to be hard for Killerfisch to do this, I think. He's got to get a melee rush off. He's going to get the sword dojo, which is huge for a melee army. He kind of needs the farmhouse, but if he goes anywhere near the farmhouse, he's going to get the crap shot out of him. So let's kind of fast forward and see what type of engagements we get first. Oh, there's a third key building out here too. It's the workshop, so that would also be handy for Killerfisch, and he did capture it with his cavalry. But it looks like Oleg is pushing out to maybe try and recapture it. Okay, let's take a look over here. Oleg's general up here taking shots because there's no gun infantry to shoot back at him. Unlikely he'll be caught here. This is just a way for him to get kills. He actually took a few casualties from his own men as he retreats here. Ooh, Killerfisch going for the rush here. He's got the Bushido General stuff going, so the heroic charge, which will make his guys have more stamina and speed. He's going to get intercepted by Saber Cavalry. This is just a delaying action, and it's going to be a good delaying action. The Saber Cavalry here is going to really delay this infantry long enough that they keep getting shot, already wavering amongst Killerfisch's men. So this is either going to work or it's going to be a super short battle. And at this point, it looks like it's going to be a super short battle. I'm thinking Killerfisch is about to get wrapped up here. I'm just not sure his charge is going to connect as well as he needs it to. Looks like he's already got men fleeing back here, being cut down by the infantry of Oleg. And a few of his Shogatai get into combat, but there's a supporting unit back here shooting them down. So the morale is going to continue to be rough. But, I mean, of course, these Shogatai are going to get a great engagement. Here comes the general's bodyguard. Or, no, this is Revolver Cav. So, yeah, Killerfisch admits defeat. So he's going to lose game 2. If he loses one more, he'll be out. Let's see what happens in the next match. All right, game 3 between Killerfisch and Oleg is going to be on Osaka Plain. This map definitely has some long lines of sight, but this left-hand side of it with these hills and the river crossing can be interesting. One of the key buildings is on this island, and I believe otherwise there's a key building on each side for one of the players, so that's kind of the tactical makeup. If someone can claim the island and get that extra key building, it sometimes gives them a good position, but of course, like I said, the far left hand of this map can be used to move cavalry units and other speedier units around, so makes for an interesting match. Let's see if Killerfisch, he's back to kind of his more original type build here with the spear levy, Yariki, back to the gun general, and let's see if Oleg's done anything different. His formula so far has been quite successful. The Saber Cav is interesting, but he goes with the Saber Cav, and he has got a lot of infantry on the field. Just a lot of infantry, and several of them are quite good. That Royal Marine's back. The United States Marines, looks like it's still damaged here. Oh, this time he does do something different. He's got an Armstrong gun, and he's also got an Infanteri de Marines. So this is a very elite army here. He's going to have less cavalry this time because of the Armstrong gun. But the cavalry crossings are going to be limited on this map because the water slows them down. So let's see what happens here with the Armstrong gun as it gets brought to bear. We've only seen this a couple... Oh, look at this. The rifle unit for Killerfisch exposed here. Again, a Yuga Katai. But it's been exposed, and it's got to fall back from the Royal Marine, who can match it for range and definitely outmatch it on firepower. So it was a nice idea for a trap there for Killerfisch, but it did not end up working. The workshop out here on the island looks like it's going to fall to Oleg. Killerfisch is going to let him have that. There's the sword dojo. And then on this side, there is an archery dojo, and that is going to be a big deal. That's going to help Killerfisch a lot. But there comes the Armstrong gun, firing at the Yuga Katai. 10 of them are dead. Oleg continues to push across the river. And here comes some cavalry from Killerfisch popping out of the woods, going to make a crossing. It's a good time to make a crossing before any of these infantry can be repositioned. So Killerfisch makes the crossing. Artillery is still firing. Let's check the kills on the Armstrong gun. 20 kills already, after only a couple of shots. And it is targeting the spear levy right now. Not sure I would target a spear levy. Seems like an odd choice for an Armstrong gun. It's got fairly limited ammunition. I would want to target cavalry probably first, and generals. Generals and cavalry would be a worthwhile target for sure. Oh, right there. As that Armstrong gun picks up. Oh, the shrapnel shot. Kills 16 cavalrymen there. So there we go. I said I would target cavalry, and apparently so does Oleg. And now he's just going to set up a defensive position over here. And he's going to use his artillery from that defensive position and be quite happy to do so. Now, 54 kills on the Yuga Katai right now. That's nothing to laugh off right there. That is a 175 range Yuga Katai also. So this is a very expensive unit for Killerfisch, but it does afford him a huge range. But he's still having to play hide and seek with this infantry unit, and it is getting close enough to fire at him. If he doesn't fall back, he's going to be in trouble. Yep, he's in trouble. And then the artillery hits there. So this Yuga Katai is going to end up getting destroyed before it's able to be effective. So it is gone for the most part, and Killerfisch admits defeat, and probably rightfully so there, even though it was fairly early. So Killerfisch not able to make it happen in these battles, but don't let these battles fool you. He is a good player. Clearly, Oleg is as well. In fact, I want to say I've seen Oleg play before too, so interesting to see the two of those come together. Short matches there, so Killerfisch is out. Oleg's going to move forward. Hope you all enjoyed the matches, and of course, as usual, I'll be back with more Fall of the Samurai tournament action, and we'll keep watching these. They've been a lot of fun.